ready. We're rolling.
We're live in 5.
So Jake's the only one that's gonna know this answer. What number? Huh? What number is this one?
I don't know. I just saved it as 1st of 2021.
1st of 21 on the podcast.
Podcast 2.0.
So we had some submissions, and everyone thought it'd be a good idea to bring back the worst guest for the first new episode. So Cory's with, well, I guess it's pretty much our podcast, right? So fuck it.
I mean,
you're the most rated guest.
What an honor.
How long has it been? Since August?
Yeah, this is 11.
11. And it's been since August, so it's been a minute. A lot of shit's happened. And haven't had a lot of time to be on, so we'll catch up on everything. First, I think we should probably go through these questions because it will bring us through everything of what we've been doing since we haven't been back. So these are pretty awesome. These are from people on Instagram. So,
and I haven't heard any of these.
No, he hasn't heard any, neither has Jake. So I'm not going to say who posted it because some of them will be probably getting some shit. First question, is Cory single? Second, would he charge his girlfriend for weed if he wasn't? Or if he is, or if he isn't? That's the first question.
No. On both. On both accounts.
You're not single.
No, I am single.
Oh.
Wouldn't charge you for weed.
Would this question be weird?
But I mean, if you're asking for pounds, what are we talking about here?
What would you think if this question was from a man? Are you willing to try it out?
I mean, it says girlfriend.
Is Cory single?
Oh, okay. I flavored that my own way.
But I did say girlfriend for weed.
Yeah, you did.
So there we go.
I was gonna say I heard girlfriend.
It must have been a girl. So he's available. So DM him.
Yes.
Second one is about you too. I had a couple people, actually 2 different people that were asking about, because we talked last about you getting into hunting and stuff, about the fall and about the bear hunt and all that stuff, and how basically you processed it all. Because I think they're interested in getting into hunting, but they're like, I don't know how the fuck I would feel about that.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the question on how it all went down, how it felt, recommend, or I guess the whole experience, really.
Yeah. Well, the process started last year when we started shooting.
Right.
Not the bow, we shot the rifle a few times.
Yeah.
And then I went out with you a few times on 17, and you got a deer. So, I mean, after that, I had kind of seen most of the process. I didn't know shit about the bow yet.
Right.
We just started shooting that in it was when it started getting warm out in like March.
Yeah.
And then I had time to dial in shooting, and there's totally different parts to it. Like the hunting is completely different from figuring out whatever weapon you're going to use. So I was more worried about that, feeling confident with my shooting.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, confidence is key in pretty much anything you do.
Yeah.
Especially when you're about to take someone's life.
So yeah, I pretty much hammered them on, like, some people are okay with being a certain amount of accurate, but being like absolutely deadly.
Well, and like figuring out why you're accurate, why you're not.
Yeah, exactly.
All the different equipment.
Right.
I mean, I didn't know any of it.
Yeah. So, and then the bear hunt, like a lot of people don't know, is it's very controlled. Like if it comes out and it goes to where it's supposed to go, it's going to be exactly 18, 19, or 20 yards. So he can dial that pin to pretty much hit within inside of a quarter, at those distances. So when it comes out, it's like, that's why I said this is the best one, because it's very controlled. Something's not running around and like hocus pocus. It's going to be pretty much right there. And I was curious on how you would do, because I wasn't going to be sitting with you. I was going to be sitting in my own spot. So pulling it all together on your own is pretty insane. And you did get it on video. So that's pretty sick too.
Yeah. And I think, the pig hunt helped with that a lot.
Right.
The pig
was mega controlled. The bear was a little less controlled than that.
I was going to say, I think I saw you do it. So I got a firsthand experience with that.
Right.
Then the pig. So I did it.
Yeah.
Super controlled.
Yeah.
Pretty easy.
Yeah.
the bear, very controlled, and basically like, I don't know. With the bow, you're not going to take wild, or at least I'm not. I'm not going to take wild shots.
Right.
I'm going to make sure it counts because you only get one.
Yeah.
Especially with a bear, but
Yeah.
I don't know. With the whole situation with the pig, just settled me in. I mean, it was one shot, all three of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just made me feel so confident that I know in the moment I can hit what I want to hit.
Yeah.
Because that was, I mean, it was control, but I hadn't shot anything moving.
Yeah.
Not one thing.
Right. Right. And nothing really solo. You were just like, okay, they're doing this, so I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
This is like all on you. Like the whole thing. Like, does it see me? Is it good to draw? And I was just basically like, dude, you just need to like screw it up a million times. That's how you learn. Like I kind of was like, you just need to go. Like,
well, at some point,
I can't do anymore. I can't do anymore. Like you need to just go. And so we went up with one of our friends at Moxie Gore Guide Service and gave us a good deal and wanted us to come up. And we all went up and put you up in a tree stand, dropped you off. And I remember getting back to camp or whatever, and they were like, Cory hit a bear.
Well, yeah, Monday, first day I saw one.
Right.
For about 5 minutes. Figured out how quiet they actually were. Because you guys had been telling me how quiet they were. And I was like, yeah, right, it's a fucking bear.
Yeah.
I'm going to hear it, at least step around a little bit. Nope.
No.
Didn't hear a thing. So that kind of got me more prepared for the rest of the week. I didn't see another thing until Thursday. Another bear. And that encounter was just insane.
Right.
I mean, that was the first week I'd actually even seen a bear in the woods.
Right.
So the whole thing was new to me.
Yeah.
And let alone I'm trying to kill it, take it home. So,
right.
Yeah, it was pretty, Thursday was wild. I mean, came out, it was probably overall like a 30-minute long encounter. I don't remember how long the video was exactly.
It was close.
It was a long encounter, and she ended up coming in back and forth probably 5 or 6 times. And not each time she came in, but it was at least 4 or 5 times I got all the way drawn back, but couldn't get a great shot. And that's where I really figured out how much the angle of entry matters.
Right.
And how every minuscule angle change just changes your shot completely.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing when you're shooting targets, you don't really think about it at all.
No, not at all. You're shooting broadside perfect every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
just hit this dot.
And you're shooting the hardest thing to shoot, something black in the shade.
Yeah, somewhat dark. I mean, it was like 6:45. I think shooting was done at like 7:30 or something like that. So it was getting dark, and it was heavily wooded area.
Yeah.
Down kind of in a boggy spot. So it was dark. Oh, man. It was intense.
And then
just getting drawn back is an art in and of itself.
Mm-hmm. And then from the video, it looked like a good hit. Like it looked like you hit well. And then I watched it back a couple times, and I'm like, oh, man, that's going to be a little back. And then how long did we spend looking? Which, I mean, one of the shittiest things hunting happened that you didn't have, like, it was kind of drawn out. Like you hit him the bear a little bit back, and it went quite a bit further than obviously we would like.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, hit it back, and it was angled back.
Right.
So just not a good.
Yeah. So it was quartering away or quartering to you. It was quartering to you, and you hit it where you should, but the angle was terrible. It ended up coming out through the hind quarter, and ran off. And like one thing I've always said that if I'm going to like kind of show somebody the ropes on this is like doing everything to the extreme, because a lot of guys would have never looked as long as we did. They would have given up. And it was like, what, 22 hours before it was found? I want to say it was 22 hours or.
Yeah, because it was about 4 or 5 o'clock that next day. We ended up finding it with a dog.
Yeah, yeah. But that experience in itself would be like, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, you know, when to give up. You know, it's one of those things where you're kind of going on a wild goose chase, finding little tiny pin specks of blood, chasing an animal through the woods. I mean, it's easy to tell yourself, oh, yeah, it's probably fine. But real life, you stuck something with, get shot with an arrow. I mean.
And it passed through.
Right. And so he found it. So that was sweet.
Yeah, we searched for what? Probably an hour or two that night.
Yeah.
At least an hour.
Yeah.
And then the entire next, I mean, for me, it was the entire next day. You guys went back out to sit, but
Right.
we searched from probably, I mean, we didn't get up there till what, noon?
Right.
No, because we went up early to look.
Yeah, we did.
So probably 10, 11. Got there, searched, didn't find it.
We searched all
until-
night. The when you hit it. Remember we had that guy with us? There was another guy that works up at Hammond Lumber. We searched all night.
That was Colin.
Oh yeah,
that was
Collins.
Colin.
We were up all night for that.
Yeah. That was the first night.
Right.
Because I drove Lindsay back that night.
Right.
Yep. Nope, didn't find that one.
So yeah, found
No,
yours.
Yeah, we searched for what? 4 hours that day, us 3, and then couldn't find. We lost the trail.
Mm-hmm.
Brought in the dog. Dog found it within. Walked us right to it.
Right.
Whatever the walk took. 30 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
And then getting it out was a process. It was only a 100-pound bear, so it wasn't horrible, but luckily Adam was there to help me. I'll say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. No, that was.
I was just so glad we found it.
Yeah. And
Shooting that whole night. I'm sure Colin felt the same way early in the week.
Yeah.
You shoot something and don't find it. Oh my God, that feeling is terrible.
Especially when you don't really have. When you're going with a guide, you don't have the most say on when to quit. That's tough too because some people.
Well,
would just
it's
not
my first
stop.
time.
Right. Right.
What am I gonna start coaching you guys on?
Yeah.
What we should do? I don't even fucking know.
Yeah. 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 So, found it. Probably super stoked when you found it, and just like a big.
Even Adam freaked out.
Sense of big relief.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, pretty positive.
Yeah, it
I'd
got
say.
me.
A lot of learning.
Didn't scare me away. I'll say that.
Right. Totally.
And the big thing with me has always been the blood factor. For whatever reason, I have a terrible problem with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Anxiety peaks and you go to sleep.
Yeah.
He's passed
Luckily,
out a
that
couple
didn't-
times on us.
Well, once from blood specifically. The other time was something else.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, who knows?
But especially with the pig situation, kind of helped that too, because that was a bloody mess, and
Right.
I stuck around for the processing a little bit until it started to smell fucking terrible, and then I got out of there. But
Yeah, I'd say you'd probably recommend it to everybody though, hunting.
the fact of the matter is, the meat is 1,000 times better.
And it's just pretty low impact if you look at the numbers, to be honest. So
As far as population or what?
one kill, 100 whatever pounds of meat, that's low impact compared to what you're buying from the store.
Yeah. For the pig, it was 100. For the bear, it was only.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying is like you get down the road, you get more experienced, you know what bear look like. To be honest, a 100-pound bear looks huge in the woods. It looks pretty
For
big.
my first time, and I had taken a video, that one we saw the first day, or the one I saw.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, yeah, that's a shooter.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it was the same exact bear that came around on Thursday.
They look bigger than you would expect.
Yeah.
Even at 100 pounds.
Well, and the rule Clyde kept saying was if they have to dip their head and their ass is above the barrel.
Yeah.
But from that angle that I was up in the tree.
Right.
It's misleading.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And it's first bear. I'm fucking thinking it's massive.
Hey, whatever.
Not at all.
Whatever. The fact of the matter is the population is so out of control in this state that, I think the biologists, the last time I heard, was the number was around 70,000 bear in the state of Maine.
Well, and from the amount of trail cam pictures they were getting, I know a lot were like the same bear in one spot, but still, they were getting hundreds of pictures every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's bear. Plenty of bear.
There is plenty.
And it's not like it's an easy thing to kill. Everyone... I killed a fairly small bear, and I think everyone and their mom came out and congratulated me. So it's obviously pretty hard to do.
Yeah, and people think that because you're baiting them, it's easy, but it's...
It'd be impossible otherwise.
They know... Yeah, you're never going to see them. You're never going to see them.
Not see it, not hear it.
No.
It knows you're there before you know it's there.
Yeah, and like you noticed probably in those woods, when you get picked up and dropped off, you can hear the truck for 10 miles.
Yeah.
So, good luck.
So they can, easily. And I'm sure they can smell you too. Yeah, it was as far as after the bear hunt, getting into the fall, I didn't go out enough.
Yeah.
That was pretty much it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of different reasons.
Because you were in rut.
Yeah. For a little while, yeah.
How killing your first animal affect Like, is the kitchen more sacred now? If that makes sense.
That's a good question. Yeah.
I wouldn't really say sacred, but there's definitely a difference pulling meat out of the freezer when you killed it. It's not just, oh, here's some hamburger. It's you remember, like you grab that meat and it's like, oh, flashback.
Right.
The whole fucking thing. Well, yeah, I mean, I cook meat pretty well, but
Yeah, no.
because that's all I eat basically now.
It is a different thing because, like, you know, I noticed myself the other day. I went over to a friend's house and they just buy it like normal people.
Yeah.
And it was like this huge, like, I don't know how many pounds it was, but like a mega pack of hamburger that you would buy for like a cookout. And it went bad. And he just threw it in the trash. And I was just like, in my mind, I was just like, that like deer meat, thinking about it being like that. And I'm like, holy fuck, that was like,
That'd be like a
pounds,
crime.
8 pounds. And I was like, in my mind, is like in my house, if that was getting thrown out, that was deer meat or bear meat and I'm like,
you see it as a chunk of the animal.
yeah. And I'm like, dude, that was like 320 hours in a tree stand.
Well, and that's the thing, not
You're
just a
throwing
piece
it
of
away.
meat. It's fucking all that time.
Yeah.
Because especially, I mean, the deer hunting season, the bear was the pig was a guarantee to see shit, obviously.
Yeah.
Bear, pretty much guaranteed to see something, not necessarily get something.
Yeah. The odds are good.
And then deer hunting is just a toss-up.
Yeah.
Flip of the coin, and I wouldn't say 50-50. It's probably like...
No.
I mean,
say,
what's the percentage? They do a percentage on tags, right?
I think
honest percentage.
yeah, I think it's 1% of bow hunters are successful.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah, and I didn't want to hunt with the gun. I don't
Yeah.
think. I mean, unless I have years where I'm striking out with the bow,
Yeah.
okay. But I think, like you said, the bow part of the season is the easiest time, probably.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Easier,
Less pressure. It's less
pressure and better weather. So
Yeah, I mean they start acting foolish in November and are running around, and the big ones are really dumb. And but you're also looking for a different hunt. You know, you're looking to kill meat. You don't care so much on, killing giants yet.
no.
So that's
I'd rather have more meat, but yeah, it's younger, better meat, so it's kind of whatever to me.
Right. Yeah, and it's one of those things that it's like, okay, I can hit the target. Well, I want to be able to hit this, and it's just the game, that you're like, okay, well, I've killed a bunch of these young ones now, and now I want to, like, once you really get into it, you really got to start thinking about the hunting program, making it better, because every year people are trying to take it away.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like now you should probably, like, okay, I'm going to talk to Ian, your brother, and say, hey, dude, why don't you hunt? Or just spreading the word and, like.
Yeah. Well, I guess I should touch on that. Why because I mean, you've hunted your whole life. We've been friends for forever. I've never, I went duck hunting once with you in high school.
Yeah.
Once. And it was fun, but like.
There's no reward.
The reason I really started to think about it was because of how we started looking at weed.
Yeah.
And forcing the organic thing, really pushing the organics. And I mean, it only made sense to start connecting your food. I mean, if I'm going to try to ingest the best weed, why am I not doing that with food, which is way more important?
I mean, and you got to make sure that, like, when you say the best, you mean not up to everybody else's best. It's low impact, efficiently grown, and done in a way that, in my mind, is cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's just from me coming from my background of hippie, dirty shit. What I think is cleaner, what makes, like, food wise, makes me feel better.
Well, that's the thing. It's a feeling. Like, everyone wants to ignore those feelings because sometimes eating the bad shit or the easy shit is good.
Right.
It makes you feel good for a minute. But I think a lot of people have completely turned off the connection of listening to their body, and they just listen to whatever commercials they hear or podcasts.
Or they think that feeling like shit's the way you're supposed to feel. Yeah. Swollen and stiff all the time. Yeah. It's like,
oh, I work, so I feel like this. No, dude.
No, I don't think so either. I know people that work me under the table that are, like, fine. Yeah. It's just from doing what you're supposed to do, not doing what you want to do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, your diet, you're eating 3 times a day. If you're eating trash, you're going to feel like trash.
Yeah.
And I was hitting the gym pretty heavy last summer. Basically, I could never eat enough to gain weight. And you started feeding me some deer steak, and that's really what kind of kicked it into high gear. I'm like, this is a noticeable difference from day to day. There's no feeling like shit. I actually get energy from the food.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
The supermarket is trash.
Eating a pound or two of deer meat a day, and I'm like, dude, you need to go get your own, because I'm not gonna go kill 660 pounds of meat for you next year. Holy shit. Yeah. But no, it
just makes sense.
I'm going to tell you.
With all the craziness going on,
yeah,
it only makes sense to be as self-sufficient as possible. And
it's best for the interest of the community and people around for me not to be in town. And if I'm in the woods, then I can't be an asshole in town. And plus, to buy the equivalent, you'd be spending $30 a pound. And guess what? I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not spending that. So, like I said, I'll go sit in a tree for 300 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, there is that time commitment. There's a trade-off, but quality and how you feel.
Dude, it
only makes sense.
And this is a good like lead into the other side of what people are asking is like dealing with. People don't understand how much shit this is to deal with. Like growing like this for a living should be like really fun, but it's like people that are dicks that make it not fun. And it's all these guys that have no idea what they're fucking talking about. They just read something that somebody says and they think that, hey, you're an asshole because this guy does it this way. You know what I mean? It's like the comments that I got for posting that video the other day, and I'll talk about it, is it's like people are like seriously pissed. And I'm like, did you listen to what I said? Or maybe you just don't know enough to like know how the whole thing works. Mm-hmm. I was just telling people, look, like caregivers, it's a fact, have abused this for a really long time. A lot of people have just blown money, me included, just like been lazy and think this is going to last forever. Mm-hmm. I said, now's the time to like dial that back a little bit and put some money into the program and fighting for it if you want a job in the future. Yeah. And what I was,
the other side is working twice as hard. Well, take it away.
And they have the ultimate thing. And what people don't like to understand is like, it's not what you say. It's not what you go out and you have a protest. It's like, you have to fight with money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If every grower took a pound of every harvest and donated it towards whatever this thing, fighting this thing, we'd have a medical program forever. I mean, it's just a fact. And there's a lot of growers that can definitely afford $2,000 a month.
Yeah.
I mean, what subscription do you know that costs you $2,000 a month? And if there is one for me to keep this going on, I'd gladly pay it.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of friggin' money. But it's like what I was talking about is, I think it's kind of like medical versus recreational, and why is there a battle? Why? I mean, if people were to think with like intelligent brains, you could merge the whole thing and save both sides of it. Mm. And yeah, you have a legit med card. You go to a rec store. Well, it doesn't even call Rex. It's called a weed store. You go to the weed store and you get a discount.
Well, it's pretty much what Colorado was like.
It was, but the thing is like, you just, if you're using it medically, then go get a fucking discount.
Yeah.
A lot of people, and this is where I got the most hate for it, is they say not a lot of people that have med cards are smoking it recreationally. And I'm like, that's bullshit. That's a fucking lie. And I'm sorry I'm the one who has to say it, but it's like, it's a lie. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's fucking foolish. Yeah. I mean, why are we playing this game? That's why this whole industry is a joke. It's because, oh yeah, I'm a fucking patient, and no, you're not. Just say you like to smoke pot with your buddies.
Yeah,
we all do, and there are people that do need it, and they should be able to have it in whatever way that they want it. But like, people just need to start being way more honest about this whole thing. Because I'm sick of it being a joke. Let's run this shit like a business. Let's run this, open the banks up for lending. Let's let everybody be honest. All you got to do is tell us how much tax we got to pay. Don't be 27%. We're already at the top of the list right now of paying Maine's fuck up bills. Mm-hmm. Why do we need to pay more? If they open the floodgates, they'd probably see the numbers triple to what they are now, and everybody in the game would be happy at where it's at. You know what I mean? Just like, hey, dial this down a little bit. Like, we're already paying for all your vacations and all the shit that you want. Just let the rest of the guys come in. If you've been growing, I mean, you should have a shot.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit about the rest?
Well, that's the thing. Let the market figure it out.
Some of these guys have tick marks on their caregiver license because, yeah, they don't keep up with the laws, and there's a bullshit law implemented, and then they get inspected, and they haven't kept up with it. But meanwhile, they're doing what they're supposed to be fucking doing.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's not unsafe. They're good. Yeah, oh my God, their scale wasn't checked by the dude.
Yeah.
But guess what? Who's happy? The grower's fine with the weight that the store gets. And the store will be the first one to bitch.
Yeah.
So who are we protecting with this scale shit?
Mm-hmm.
Who? I mean, if both parties are like, fucking right, we're both making money, we're both good, why do we need all these other laws? Why do we need 25 cameras?
Well, and then you've got the scale people. You can only buy those scales cash.
Only buy the scales cash. And then you have to get them calibrated and shit, cash. It's like,
So they can play dirty.
but it's like, what's the point? Who gives a if the grower and the store or wherever it goes are happy? Why are we getting involved? You know what I mean? It's like I'm selling my house to you. Why is this guy getting involved? It's like, it's foolish. No, you need a scale, certified. I'm like, dude, we've been certifying our scales for a long time, and you know how we do that? Hey, dickhead, this is off a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, let's fix it. Let me check my scale. You know, and it's like, that's the thing. Is like, maybe with other entities in the state of Maine, people do business that way, but like the whole weed industry, we all have an understanding. Most of like the core group, this is how this shit rolls. Somebody calls you and bitches about your product, go make it right. That's just what you do. You just, what do you need? You need money, you need different product. Let's fix it. It fixes itself. Just tax it and make sure we're not like whatever. I mean, I think the whole plant count's crazy. Like, open it up, you know, like just tier it. Here we go. I want to grow 9 million plants. Okay, this is what it's going to cost. This is your projected tax that you should produce off of that. And you're going to be in a ballpark. And if I see a weird number, we need to start asking questions. But other than that, here we go. Like, here's your license for 9 million plants. You're going to grow a 4 million square foot building that's now going to be worth $20 million in our town. Yeah, let's do it. You know, it's like, why hold people back? And then they're holding the best people back. The people that pay people good. I don't know many caregivers that don't pay people good. And if they do, they don't stay in business long. And creating so many fucking jobs. Like, how many jobs did you say he just created? 30? 20? Hive? Probably 20, 30? That would never be there. And that's just, you know, times that by probably 1,000 guys. And take that away. And it's like, what are you doing? You know, what are you doing? In replace of a couple dispensaries where guys are going to make minimum wage and put shitty fucking weed out that you have to buy. Like, the people that are playing this game are not from here. And if they are, it's because they can't play the game now. Because it's hard right now. Like, open your own weed, like, start your own weed brand right now and get it, like,
Build it up.
good luck. You know, but the thing is there's a lane there for that motherfucker who does it.
Yeah.
That's the great thing. If you go the other way, little Johnny, you know, 19-year-old or 21-year-old Johnny is never going to have a shot, you know, and he's going to go do whatever else for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, and it's, I would say most of the guys that I know right now are like, they could probably grow 40% more, like their business, if it was allowed. Like, you know, I know a couple guys that would probably have 50 to 80 employee businesses, which is massive, which is not really what I'm interested in. But like, think about, like, that's basically reopening mills and back in Maine, and all that money is just gonna, you know, like, let's start doing some smart shit with it. Let's put it into some, like Maine should be like as sustainable as Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck are we doing? We have this golden opportunity and we have great weed. The state has great fucking weed. I just drove to Oregon and back. You didn't think I didn't stop at every pot store I got a chance? And I'm just like, are you kidding me? Fuck this. No way.
Throwing it out.
You get back to Maine and in New England and even parts of New York, and you're like, okay, what's the difference here? And Maine right now, I think, has so much talent, grow like weed wise. People will come here for it.
I mean, they have been.
I know. Yes, you're right. They have been. But it's like, why are we going to fuck it up? Why are we going to, that's my thing about the medical. That's my thing about the recreational thing. And I know it's going to stay separated and it's going to be a war. But, the guys that should be doing this recreationally are doing it medically right now. That's just a fact. Mm-hmm. And if the state would say, all right, we're going to help you guys be successful instead of these other guys. Like now you're talking about building your state up. But if all of us don't have a job, half of us motherfuckers are going to be in jail. You know it for a fact. We're not going to go back to making Subway money.
Yeah.
It's just a fact. We're cowboy. That's where it's going to go back to. And the black market's going to do this.
Yeah.
And it's just like right now there's a lot of weed getting sold legally through a store at a good price, and everyone's having a great time with it.
Yeah.
Like, it's still fun.
Well, and that's what I've never understood is for so long you've gotten nothing from it.
Right.
And now you're just trying to nickel and dime.
And why? Just because, it's not illegal anymore in Maine, okay? So they're treating us like we're no matter what going to lie.
Yeah.
That's how they're setting it up. No matter what, these fucking assholes are going to lie to us and still sell black market when, dude, you know how many growers I know that are like, sweet, I don't have to drive to Massachusetts tomorrow.
Right.
I can sell it through my fucking store. I don't need to lie on this form.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because here we go. Yep. It's going to save me here's $100 in tax I have to pay, but guess what? I'm not dealing with any bullshit.
Yeah.
I can put it right in the bank. Okay. Here's, and it's just like all the guys I know are just like, just pay the fucking tax. Sweet. There's plenty of money there if you're doing it right.
Yeah.
But not 27%.
Guys that want their logo on it,
yeah,
don't want a black market.
No,
it's right. They want to push it out there.
And the loudest voices against me in this whole medical thing are the guys wholesaling it still down, doing the black market flippy game. And I'm like, coming from you guys want the medical program to stay, but you guys aren't willing to put any money back into it to grow. Because when we sell it to the stores, the store makes money and it keeps the ship afloat. And they can hire more people and give more jobs and make us look better. But these guys are selling it to Reggie down in Boston, and no, medical should stay. It's like, dude, you're the reason why it's going. It's because you're making it a joke. When you get caught with your 7.5 packs running to Massachusetts of shit weed, like every store I know is looking for product. And yeah, you do take a little bit, but you're investing in your future. Don't be dumb.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it. Like, yeah, you got to pay tax. Like, it's a different kind of tax because it's not a real tax, but you're keeping the ship afloat by supporting the stores. Mm-hmm. And my thing is like this year with what we have going on is like, I want to support as many of these motherfuckers as I can and get the product to them as fair as possible so that they can make more and keep this shit going because they have the big mouths.
Yeah.
The stores with 20 people working in them, they have the juice to change this shit around. They got a lot of people talking, and obviously they're going to be lobbying for medical and like, here you go, dude. And they see the most people.
Well, yeah, those are now the new like smoke spots. I mean, that's where you go and find out a bunch of shit.
You got to take over for a minute.
Uh-oh. Poop break. Well, it's probably a good time to pour a beverage. It don't matter to me. Fire it off. You want a drink? Fuck yeah, a little water in the cups now, but whatever. She's gonna be straight anyway, so. Well, maybe next time we'll get you in there. Just keep screaming. We can hear you. Oh, shit. You gonna stick around for the fights tonight? That's up to you.
Pirate it. I mean, sorry, Dave.
We'll edit that out. No, just gave a little too much info right there.
Have you seen him talking shit?
Who?
Dana's like begging people to pirate the fight. He's like,
Really?
we already got one guy. We got a shit tap. We're waiting for him to like post the link, and we'll have cops at his house.
Oh yeah.
Dude, there's not.
They can track all that.
There's
shit.
not many people that I'm afraid of, but I wouldn't fuck with Dana White.
Yeah.
He'd pay $1 million.
Well, I was gonna say
to,
between his connections and himself.
I'm just
I don't
saying
wanna
he'll
fuck
just
with
be
him.
like, dude, this guy, yeah, he's probably a billionaire. Would be my guess.
Dude, yeah, the UFC's got to be worth over.
Because they sold, and then he stayed on, I believe.
Yeah,
So I bet you, he's got like $100 million for that.
and then plus, salary now, which who knows?
Yeah, so that's my thing about all these people like DMing me, calling me an idiot and all that shit. It's just like that's how I feel about it. Is I think there is a way, but I think a smart person needs to go talk to them about it, because most of these guys that go talk to the people in the state about it don't really grow. So they only just
Well, let's talk about that empty seat on the OMP board.
Right.
That was supposed to be a caregiver.
well, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if nobody. I
Me
mean,
neither. That's why Wellness got 4 licenses.
right.
Because nobody was stepped up.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it takes a lot of time, but the thing is if like you do this like subscription type of thing, some of that could go to that person, because if they do grow, like, dude, you got to respect that they would be making money. So for them to sit there, if they're smart enough and they're worth it, like, you got to either pay the employee to take over the boss's spot, or to pay him so he doesn't maybe take the pressure off to grow a lot. But a lot of these guys talking about this shit with them are like hard stance in the sand. No, we're not changing anything when it could be fair. But the thing is the spectrum of fair, when you feel like your livelihood is slipping out of your hands because you don't want to get with the times, gives you a bad perspective to these people that just see weed. All they see. And this guy over here is like, let's just face it. The game has changed. Basically, the first couple years I started, you're bringing outdoor inside.
Yeah, it's a real business now.
And you have to dial in efficiency. And these guys that don't want to do that, I'm sorry. It's the way. I mean, you're going to see these cowboys and stuff. If they don't change, then you just can't do it anymore. And you're going to sit around bitching about missing out on the hugest opportunity of your life. Yeah, you have to change a little bit. We have to do what's right for the amount of money that can be made doing this. Like, let's face it. We were just talking about it the other day. It is a lot. There's a lot of money involved when you do it right. We need to pay our part, because a lot of the growers, it's one of those things where they are using a lot of friggin' resources. I mean, just think about how much cocoa runs through 1,000 liter. That's a lot of resources. We need to do something to mitigate that. We can't just fucking put 7,000 lights on CMP and be like, yeah, dude, I deserve to make $10 million a year and not pay any tax.
Well, and complain about the CMP corridor at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like you're putting 7,000 lights up and you don't want that corridor to go through?
Yeah.
Like, then you should be putting greenhouses up.
Yeah. I do think as growers we should be taxed as a normal entity. Like, and I think some of that tax structure would be nice to change too. Like, the more, like, as a homeowner too, the more you use, the more you should pay in tax. The more you imprint on the land and on the property and the grid, you should pay more tax, because you should be rewarded for being more sustainable. I think not just because it benefits us, but like as people, like you grow your own garden and shit in your backyard and all this stuff that you do that's eco-friendly, like you should be taxed a little less than the dude that puts 80 bags of trash out every day in front of his house for the trash truck.
Well, not even that. Think nutrient runoff.
Yeah.
That alone is fucking
Yeah.
terrible.
Well, yeah, it's and
It's been pretty negligible in the weed industry, though. Like, nutrient runoff is more like acres of agriculture.
well, I think what I have known about some problems is because Lindsay's dad works for the water district, is once it gets in with the sewage, it can be tricky to, and you know what? It's more work. That would never be there if it wasn't for growing. So kind of figure, they need to get information. They need to see, okay, how much runoff does this grow have compared to a normal house? Okay, well, these guys pay 12% instead of 7% because of all this runoff we have to deal with. And look, you're investing in your town to get more, better equipment. You have to think that way. But the government's done a shitty job with our money anyways. What's going to be adding more gas to the fire? Imagine, they're just going to create more jobs to fuck with us more. If we knew that they were just going to put it into something that was awesome, then it would be cool. But like, why can't we run this like you used to run a farm stand? It's bullshit. Like that's they want you to make it into a laboratory where you sell it is like perfectly white and don't even get one freaking crystal of weed on the table. And it's like one of those things where it's like, dude, we need to back off a little bit and just be like, yeah, I'm buying weed. It's sweet. Just chill the fuck out. But I see what I see from like my business mind in me is clean, hydroponic. Your dollars and cents are like pretty predictable unless catastrophe happens, but it's way more predictable than fucking living soil and raised beds inside. And I mean, it just is. It's a little more predictable. So I do see why businessmen would want you to grow like this and not like this, but it's not your choice to decide how we do it. But they want to make it that way because they can't, the top to the top, they can't really, I mean, you can't really argue. The best and the best, because cost-wise, you're getting smoked by the living soil guys. Like, I mean, you're just getting, if you're honest, and I can tell you what operating cost is, it's the cost is way lower. And what do those big business guys not want? You coming in and charging $125 a zip and making bank. They can't fuck with that because they got 20 managers. Yeah. But choose to run your business the way you wish.
Exactly.
The strong survive. Like, what are we doing?
The market.
Isn't this the United States? I mean, that's the thing. It's just, that's why this whole thing kind of drives me nuts. It's like people need to step the fuck back and put on pause for a minute that, like, yeah, your hands are dug deep into this, but it's been operating unfairly way on both sides for a long time. It needs to, if you meet that shit right in the middle, I think it could be great. Yeah. It could be the best program in the United States for this. And people could like be like, oh shit, that's working out really good. Cause in California, it's not working out so good. Like it's just turned into guys running out of California to another state to buy weed. What are you doing? Like, because they can't find the quality and it's overpriced. I mean, we have a really good opportunity. It's just getting the right people in the right places, and a lot of people have no idea.
Well, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but everybody bragging about how it's the biggest agricultural draw in Maine. Like, that more says that our agriculture isn't healthy.
Oh, yeah.
At all.
It doesn't mean that Maine is... the weed is not the benefit there. It's like, let's get farming going again.
Yeah.
And I've seen it open up a lot of people's minds to farming. Like, I mean, you look at Brett Messer from Bridget. Like, he's got a full-blown farm now. He's got cows.
Yeah.
And he got into that from weed.
Yeah. Yeah, we're
I think
totally...
it's a similar mindset to the hunting thing.
Yeah.
After going organic, it's like, why wouldn't you?
Yeah. And like I said, low impact. Like, low impact. As low as you can. Like, I think now that, like, your job as a person is to just be like, how little impact can I put while, then you... on the earth, but at the same time, you have a business you have to run. So how can you do that optimally? So when it's your time to hand the world off to your children, that it's not fucked. Yeah. Like our parents, face it, they did a really good job at fucking it up. And it was just because it was just like produce. That was it. Like, who gives a shit about the waste? That's never going to hurt anything.
We'll deal with the problems after.
Right. And now it's time to like draw that shit back. Maybe we need to get some money into figuring out what to do with all this mess. And weed is the best way to fix it all. You just have to be fair about it. And guess what? We're fixing everything. Who gives a fuck about a line coming down through Maine? Like, we could just solar this bitch, like, with all that tax money. Like, solar for every fucking school,
And use the schools to find the data that's not out there about the plant. We've got a bunch of colleges. Why can they not be helping figure out some of this stuff
that's federal grant money related, guaranteed.
Yeah,
they ain't getting federal money to do research, so they won't do it.
But with this tax money, your state could open up its own college, independent of the feds. You think about that much money, like, hey, we're gonna have Maine College, and here we go.
Half the big draw of the colleges is they're making money because of the federal relationship.
Of course, I understand, but if you want to go to school for a real reason,
like even Unity, I don't think they're getting a ton of federal money.
Probably not.
And they're at the forefront of agricultural science.
Yeah.
It's Maine's set up for it.
Maine, that's a sick school up there. I mean, it would be cool to have people on from that. Yeah, that would definitely be interesting to talk about because I could go on and on about that.
What other questions you got over there?
Soil mix grow method, breakdown of how you guys design and how you choose your room setup. Soil mix is easy.
I was gonna say soil mixes.
We use Coots, and then now that we're in pots, we used Cannah and some 707, just temporarily till we can get a hole cut in the building, so we can get our raised beds back in. Everyone tells us don't bring them back in, blah blah blah. But guess what? I mean, we don't listen, and we brought them in, so everything's all good.
And they're ripping,
and they're fine. Guess what? They're fine. Design the room. Basically, I pretty much design it in my head and then run it by the guys and see if it sounds good, and then we fucking try it out. So these rooms are all 20 by 20s with 10 raised beds and 8 lights.
On average.
Yeah. We
have a couple. Some will be a little smaller.
We have a couple that will be different. And then we have two 24,000 BTU mini split heads with a 48 outside and then a big Quest, a 205. And it's all overkill.
Just in case.
Yep. And it's small rooms. We're probably going to do half the room one strain, half the room another, just 2 strains per room, and just try to dial it in. So we'll be, instead of doing a bunch of big rooms, we have 10 small rooms, and kind of like no veg. So we go like clone, 1 gallon, right into the 4x4 raised beds. So we don't have that whole huge veg room. It's kind of like what I wanted to get into, is you veg in place in the bed for a little bit, and then you get it on that cycle. You're harvesting every week, and you don't have that huge veg room of like possible sick plants is the way I see it.
Yeah.
You just have
it breaks every part of the process down.
Yeah.
And it's only going to get more efficient.
Shorter life for the plant. I just see more health. That's all. You're not transplanting 9 times, and like every time you transplant, it's like,
getting those monster plants is just a toss up.
Yeah. And in the soil, every time you transplant, I don't care how good you are. You can tell me any bullshit you want, but 3 to 7 days of lag of that plant being shocked after transplant. Like, you can tell me you're King Kong and you never see any problems, but this is what we see. Transplant, boom, plant doesn't do much, and then it goes. So I just like to take that whole transplant 95,000 times right out of it, and then just go from the 1 gallon right into the soil.
Yeah.
If we can. And then we normally veg for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then flip, and then we'll be every 7 to 10 days. So it will be good. We're running the Troll Masters. That's pretty sick. We're just fucking around with it, just setting it up. I think it's going to be the cat's ass. There's some things I hope. I mean, we haven't even dug into it, but I'm hoping you can see back on the progress of the grow and shit. But it seems pretty sick.
Yeah.
And it's cheap.
It's a good weapon to have because you just can't be in there all the time, and you need to know what's going on.
That, and it's like really, really easy to use, and it's like really affordable.
Yeah.
Like if you're running a tent, you can afford it.
Well, the setup was a lot easier than I thought. I mean, a lot of cables, but not a hard setup.
Yeah,
pretty straightforward.
And
and it's worked. I mean, I don't know. The Smart Bee was good, but there was always just, with the no cables and how they communicate, there's always some type of problem.
Yeah, it was like it seemed like a bunch of IT nerds that thought they knew something about growing weed, which, hey, everyone's got to try. They probably made a couple $1,000,000. But that's one thing I wanted to make sure. There's a lot of growers that like are listening in and shit. Like if you're building a big grow and you want help designing it, Jeremy, I know a lot of people don't like GrowGen, but Jeremy from GrowGen is the best. He's the fucking best. He's the smartest guy I know with designing this shit.
And he'll talk to you straight.
Oh,
It's not going to fill you full
100%. We had an issue last week with some bullshit, and it's just like, dude, he got us our light. So I ordered our lights Tuesday. We got them in. They would have been here Thursday, but we missed the truck, so they came Friday, as long with an AC that went bad. God, I mean, so if the local grocery store is just a pain in the ass, I mean, I get it. Like, that's who we go to every time, because it's any question, anytime, like, oh, Jeremy, I'll just have you design this building for me. He'll do it. He didn't design ours just because he thinks the way that I do things, I'm an asshole, but that's fine.
But he also likes when we test shit out. So.
But he's also used to, yeah, he does like that. He's also used to designing massive hydroponic, warehouses that it's like, dollars per square foot is their calculation, not pounds per light or whatever,
Yeah, there's a lot less unknown, like you said earlier.
Which I think is awesome, and I love to see what different people do.
Yeah.
Because the innovation is insane. Like, I just love going into some, like, into seeing these hydros things and just like, okay, yeah, that is impressive. I don't care how you're growing, but you're running 1,000 lights and you got like 1,000 plants. Like, that's impressive. I don't care how you're growing it.
Well, and we can't test every single way. And
I don't want to.
No, you don't want to, but it's nice.
Exhausted.
It's nice to see it. Someone else doing it. Yeah, they might not do it exactly how we would do it.
I just tried so many different ways. I'm just so sick of it. I'm like so happy it's like LED and raised beds. And when we're done, I'm not playing the game, because I was just going down the road the other night. I ate an edible and I went way too far. And I'm just like projected different ways of growing, combining the two, and like just seeing yield wise and all this shit. And I'm like, fuck, like threw it out in the trash. I don't want to look at that again, because I'm not doing that, because that means changing
It's like a piece of paper worth $1 million.
Changing everything. You know what I'm saying? Because there was one point where I was pretty happy. We were like semi-organic and using some, it was like Armory certified fertilizer. And we were pulling crazy yields. Like, we were pulling like 45 pounds from 20 lights.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, this is fucking sweet. But then we tried the real soil, and it was just like,
Quality was night and day.
That, and like, it sucks dealing with having a middleman to get what you need to make your shit to live. And some people have it down, but in my experience is we'll get everything we need minus one thing, and that means now something's getting screwed up. Yeah. And I just saw it so many times where you just can't rely on people enough to get us what we needed at the volume, where I'm like, you know what, let's just try this shit out. And I'm so glad we did it. So yeah, we went down that a ways. The
crazy part is it almost cut out a lot of the labor.
That was the goal, is how can we grow as much weed as possible with as little help as possible. And first thing in my mind was transplant day is a full day, and it's a huge waste of time. Like,
nothing else gets done.
No, it's like, okay, let's cut transplant day. How do we do that? We need a lot of small rooms so we can, play that game. And I think that's, to me, I would never do it another way. Is because most guys have a veg room, and yes, they can clean it out, but it's a pain in the ass. But we have rotating veg rooms, so that after every flower, the whole room gets taken out and cleaned, and then we veg and then flower. And I like that, being able to just clean the whole entire room. And then the only room that is hard to get clean is the cloning room or the early veg, but they're so movable at that point that it's not a problem.
Yeah.
So I think that way, I like that the best way. It just seems to make the most sense. And so that's kind of how we choose everything, is like efficiency, but keeping like best quality in mind, but just trying to get a little bit more efficient every time.
Yeah.
And next question is, do you need employees?
Trimmers.
Well,
always looking for trimmers.
This is the hardest thing to get across. Yes, we do, but it's like you got to be a little bit of a different breed, because we operate a little differently here. Like I said, we got 3 fucking guys running. We're gonna be running 10 flower rooms.
I mean, 10.
That's insanity. Plus veg and clone. That's a lot. That is like not lying.
That's
a lot
every day.
But that's what a lot of people don't get that want to get into the industry. the industry, 7 days a week. Who the fuck wants to do that? You know, you sit in a room with 100. Raise your hand if you want to work 7 days a week for 5 days pay to learn. But you know what? I would have done that.
Well, that's kind of how, I mean, before everyone got pushed into going to college and everything, that's how everyone would work their way up in any job.
If I want to learn how to build a house, I'll go work for a guy building houses for free to learn. That's what people have forgotten.
But it's like we've talked about, the minimum wage thing has really fucked that up.
It has fucked that up because
you price people out of work. I'm not going to pay an employee what you're telling me I have to pay them if they ain't worth it.
Well, you go to school for 2 years to get a degree in building. Why does the builder have to pay you to learn if you don't have a degree?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he should pay you. You're helping out. But why does, it's like
I shouldn't be told by the state how much I have to pay you. I know how much you're worth.
Yeah. Because
it's my fucking business.
Because the school makes you pay to learn. Why can't you learn from a boss? If you know, like, hey, dude, I am going to frame houses for the rest of my life.
Yeah. And you know kind of how school is anyway. It just gives you like a basic framework. It's not even really the hands-on training you're going to need.
It's like
that first 4 to 6 months, you're kind of still useless.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I mean, it's just like being a young kid going on a job site having no idea how to run a saw.
Yeah.
That dude that is running the show is probably worth like $50-$100 an hour if he's working, but now he's got to slow down and teach you.
Yeah.
And that's costing everybody time and money. And
that simple flow of economics, not a lot of people understand that.
Not a lot of people do understand that. And it's like, you know what? Why can't I hire a kid to pick up trash around my yard for $10 an hour that would never have, like, he does 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours a week.
Yeah.
What does that hurt? A 10-year-old, 12-year-old, whatever it is. Why do I need to, like, legally you can't even pay him to do anything. Why are you going to make us, like, hide that? You know, it's like.
You should want young kids to learn skills. It's not, you're treating it like if they don't get a livable wage at 10 years old, which is, I don't even know what that would be, that we're treating them like slaves. Like, no.
Well, I mean, from having kids, some kids want to work. They literally, hey, what are you doing? Can I rake too? Yeah, you can fucking rake, dude. Sure. Yeah, don't like make them bake in the sun for 90 hours. Hey, take the chainsaw, cut the tree down, you little dick.
Yeah.
No, obviously not that, but like it's just crazy how, like I said before about the state treating people like criminals. Like you think everyone's gonna do the worst things to young people working? Like, $2 an hour. Well, I'll go over there and work for $7.
Yeah.
That's how the free market works. You know what I mean? It's not like we're all going to conspire to be like, yeah, we're going to pay everyone $1 an hour. Let's do it. You know, like, no, it's like.
It's another thing that the market will figure out if you just let it run its course.
Oh, yeah.
Just like the stores and the weed and all of it.
Yeah. You're a cashier at Walmart. You're making $12 an hour, but Kmart is paying $17.50. You're the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
And they have no employees, and then they got to bring it up. I mean, that's the way it's worked for trimmers for years, like I said, in the weed world.
Yeah.
Trimmers, like they used to have just be like, fuck you. He said 25. I'm going over there to trim for him for 25.
Well, now the biggest thing is they have to be on payroll. So
now I'm talking about the old days.
Yeah, but that's just another fucked up wrinkle where the whole unemployment thing.
Yeah, you can't try out trimmers now. It's like there's a huge risk.
Because within that first day, like, well, I had to get you on payroll to even get you in the fucking door.
Yeah.
Now what do I do?
That's why we don't.
I owe you money?
Now we don't hire anybody. You know what I mean?
Well, it's not even just payroll. You have to do a background check.
Oh yeah, you have to.
I mean, basically be an HR person, which is another job in and of itself.
And it takes weeks. And it's like, okay, you decided to hire this guy, and it takes 2 weeks to get his shit in. Say 3, and then you figure out he's a shitbag, and then you have to, like, dude, they've fucked up, like, their records so bad. They'd be like, Cory doesn't work for you anymore. And I'm like, dude, I promise he does. He's here more than me. What do you mean? They're like, oh, no, you said you wanted him to be off with the license. I said, I promise I didn't. That was this person. And this is the thing with the state is everything has to be on paper. So I definitely wouldn't write to terminate his position. I definitely, no matter how fucked up I was, like, even if I was pissed off drunk, fuck him. When they come and inspect, I'm going to take a hit, you know? No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you're going to get screwed.
So it's just crazy. I don't know. I just wish that people could just sit down a minute and just like be like, okay, can we all be reasonable for like one day? Everybody just be like, one day. Let's just all have a serious conversation about a lot of shit and how people, you know, should be treated.
Yeah, it's like you said, leave the feelings out of it. Let's have a real talk.
Numbers don't lie. It's just numbers don't lie. But it's like, it's just this giant race for I don't even know what it's about anymore. It's like this huge, like, I don't even know what.
That's what the thing. I can't tell if it's money related, if it's an optics thing and people are still just that against weed, that they won't let that stigma go away. Like, this is a business just like anything else.
Yeah, you can say you can say it's a joke, but the companies
that are treating it like a joke, where they're just letting everyone rip dabs all the time and it's a joke.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna show up.
Oh yeah,
the market's gonna cut them off.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, you go into some, like I said, the people that take it for granted, they just think that this is a way to get high all day. Yeah. And okay, so listen to this. This is gonna really piss a lot of people off, and I'll enjoy this. But so okay, so you grow weed all day. Yeah, you are a grower. You know, you've been doing it for a while, and it pays for you to just smoke weed all day nonstop because that's what you do, and that's the thing to do. And you're the one telling me that you're the fucking medical patient. You know what I mean? Like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
You smoke 5 ounces of dabs a day, and you work on your plants a little bit. You most of the time can't produce anything that's shelf worthy and actually safe.
Yeah.
But you're the one saying, you know,
I need it.
I'm a fucking med patient, man, you know, and I should grow all the fucked up gross weed I want. Meanwhile, these guys that are towing the line and being like, really trying to put out quality product that's not going to hurt people, are like, yeah, let's make this a little bit more legit. So Slouch over there, you know, isn't a pot grower anymore because I'm sick of going to the store and not getting respect because they think of him. Mm-hmm. That's their tenant. Yeah. And that's what they know. Not like people that are going to go in there and make it way nicer. And then when they leave, just say, hey, look, dude, sorry, I've outgrown the place, but it's fucking mint.
Yeah.
And all the shit's yours. Have fun. You know, that's a lot of the dudes that I know, how they roll that way. Like the growers that I know and like to associate with, they're like, dude, I really fucked this up. Can I buy it? Or can I pay you? Can we figure something out? Because, you know, whatever. But it's because they run their business good, and there's definitely money to be made, you know, doing it the right way. It's just like instant karma. You operate a good store, that's where people are going because they feel good.
Yeah.
It's the same with when you grow a good product. It's like, I don't give a shit about being the fucking best, but if the people that buy it are happy, cool, great. That's what I want.
Yeah.
It's all these other people that have to make it into a competition. We can't grow enough weed.
Well, and that's what I've never understood. Why so much fighting if the market is currently not being met with the quantity that it needs? Every store needs weed.
I think it's because the stores are so fresh. You know, you didn't have to compete.
Yeah, you can't. But I mean, I don't know.
Everybody just was awesome.
So yeah, I think that's always been part of our mindset that's different. Is everything's a competition.
Yeah,
I've never looked at anything like I'm not trying to be the best at it, especially if I'm putting time in to do it. I don't want to just do it.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
But this is the thing. It's like you're competing at something, but there's literally no way to keep score.
Well, it's not a type of competition where like I want them gone. Because competition breeds better products.
Right.
That's all it's going to do is going to push everyone forward.
Yeah, the way I would explain it is,
I don't need to only smoke our weed. I want to smoke the good weed wherever it is. I don't give a fuck.
So the way that I see it is, it's like playing, like if you're playing something with people that are like as good as you or better than you, or say like golf, or say like shooting the bow.
Yeah.
Like you're going to have a good week. You're going to have a good harvest. That kicks our ass. Dude. And then it's going to, you know, it's like one of those things where, you know, every grower knows that's really like making 5% tweaks really, really growing really good shit, making those tiny little, it's just a couple more hours a week to make it phenomenal product. Like they're 5%, and then they're 5%, and then sometimes our 5%, like one's up, one's down. Sometimes they're the same, but like no matter how many people are dialed in and doing good, there's not enough. So get the fuck over it.
Yeah.
To be, and it's like prices right now are really good for what you're getting. Like if you look around everywhere else, like they're really good. Yeah, they probably, there's ways for them to probably come down a little bit, but like I think they're really good but if you're that guy that's like, dude, fucking med patient, I smoke 2 ounces a week, and you're just smoking recreational. Yeah, it's not affordable.
Yeah. But
some people need to get over that. Like maybe you might feel a little bit better if you're not high all the time and use it as a reward.
It's become a crutch.
And oh my God, I know this is going to stop the world. Oh my God. But this is why the community is not getting respect. It's getting respect. Every time they see you, your truck smells like weed. You probably got a bowl sitting around and you're high.
Yeah.
And you can't walk into the meeting and deliver. And that's the thing that the weed world doesn't have, is they got the dude that wants to show up and yell.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah, you don't have to be the guy in the suit, but like,
no,
clean your shit up a little bit,
or just be able to have a conversation. And when time comes to spew, you battle with these people and not just be like, "Oh, you're a jerk."
Yeah.
It's like, and it's one of those things. It's like we've gotten to the point now where there needs to be somebody that shows up to this shit, and that like most people take their job not serious, and if somebody from the medical world shows up with their game face on, they'd be unstoppable, because the facts, sharpness, and that's not what they have on these boards. They got people that don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And if you propose a little bit of energy and something that might work, they're going to be like, okay, here's the responsibility. I don't want it anymore.
Yeah.
This is just a job.
You sound like you know what you're doing.
Yeah. Hey.
Here you go.
Here we go.
Yeah.
But it's like,
that seems like that's kind of how it's been treated. It's been thrown at people.
Yeah.
And now it's my problem. Not like, I want to figure this out.
Yeah. And a lot of people, their opinion is it's just a bunch of clowns getting rich.
Yeah.
That's what they think. Like it's a circus. But you see the way the dudes that don't live it, treat it. Yeah. They do treat it as something like, oh, this is my side hustle.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, dude, probably going to be the rest of my life doing this, I hope. So, no, it's not a fucking joke. And this isn't something that I just want to buy a pretty car with. This is going to be handed down or some, whatever it is. But if you treat everybody in your business right, like you're not getting yacht money, and if you are, you're doing something different, and that's fine. Like there are those guys that are just gonna, like I know dudes that, they wanted me to teach them how to get into this, and I show them all this. Like I give them this as like the recipe, and they learn a different way just to produce mass numbers.
Yeah.
And they're gonna go get that shit, and they're gonna grow 500,000 pounds a year. Fine, that's fine. We're never gonna compete, dude. Yeah. You know what I mean? We're not even.
There's a lane for both.
Like when you get done making $5 million, call me for your head stash. That's all I give a shit about.
Yeah.
Sell your shit. I know so many growers that buy other people's weed and they're cool with it, and I'm cool with it if they're cool with it.
Right.
I don't give a shit.
Shouldn't matter.
Doesn't fucking matter to me, dude. You're supporting my family.
Mm-hmm.
Right on. But it's mostly the dudes that have had like 2 lights, and they're the ones giving me shit all the time, or giving us shit all the time. It's like, oh, why do you need so many fucking lights?
Basically, the must be nice people.
Yeah. Oh, dude, bad. It's been so bad lately, and I'm just like, guy, I don't know why you don't think you can do it.
Yeah.
If you can type on an iPhone, you can figure it out. You just got to be a persistent prick.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they don't do
every day.
Yeah. Just keep. It's like cut one thing out at a time. Yeah. Like, okay, I want to have a grow. Well, now I can't smoke cigarettes. I can't drink beer anymore. I need to, maybe I should like work on myself so I can stay awake, not smoke 2 ounces of oil a week so I can work all night, get to where I want to make this my future. But so many people feel like they deserve it just because they've been doing it.
Yeah.
Imagine if sports worked that way. How fun would that be to watch?
Armchair quarterbacks.
Yeah, it's like, well, I'm 75. I should be QB.
Yeah. I deserve it.
You should? No, dude.
You're not. Yeah.
But I see a lot of what I don't like is like the guys that I would say the OGs in the world aren't doing the best job about teaching the new kids getting into it, which I think is important. Like I think some of us should get together and do some like talk things like a big not you can't do it big now, but like a seminar type of thing and just be like, yo, this is how you treat people. This is how this business is supposed to work. Yeah. Don't learn from, remember, the Chad thing. Don't learn from that fucking beach boy. You know what I'm saying? That douchebag. Go learn from somebody that's going to like teach, like those are the dudes that grow the best weed. The dudes that live it, like they grow the best fucking weed. So do you want to do that? Do you want to be real? Or do you want to just pretend?
Well, someone who's built it from the garage.
Yeah.
And played the game the whole time.
Yeah.
Like as much as people don't want, like they complain about the tax thing. Yeah, I mean, I get it. It sucks. But that's the world we live in.
Right.
I mean, and most of you aren't putting your money where your mouth is.
No.
You're not trying to change those circumstances. So play the game.
Yeah.
I mean, we can do what little we can to change the rules in our favor, but just like every other company and every other industry, you got to fucking play the game.
But right now, if we get in, like it's such a building block spot, like we could like make the difference to lay the groundwork to this shit so that someday our kids will have like Maine could be thriving. Like Maine could be killing it if we just lay this brickwork nice. Like if you just are like, dude, they need to give us some fucking leeway. You know what I mean? Like most of us, we're going from a cowboy pretty much to a CEO of, say your average weed company that's not that big makes $1 million a year. What's that? Like a fucking Irving?
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. From what you've grown it from the garage to just a sale in Manchester to now this.
You expect me to know everybody and everything I'm supposed to do? Work with me, bitch. I'm paying taxes.
Yeah.
There should be a person that you call for the state of Maine just for weed.
That knows it all.
The amount of tax we pay. And they're just like, hey, man, what the fuck is an accountant?
Yeah.
Who the fuck do I send my taxes to?
Well, that's a huge part of it.
Well,
if the growers, kind of like us, the grow takes a lot of time and effort if you are trying to do it.
Yeah.
Dial it in completely.
Yeah.
As much as you can. You don't really have all that much time to be doing. That's a full-time job.
Oh,
keeping up on the laws. It's a full-time job.
And it's because these dicks just keep fucking with it. It's like, okay, no matter how many fines you give, it's not going to be equal to the amount if you just let us do our job.
Yeah.
Let us grow as much weed as we can, which means you get as much taxes as you can, which means the weed goes through stores and gets taxed again, and it's just
and like you said earlier
process.
About the communication of any changes.
Yeah.
Mostly doesn't get to the people it needs to get to.
Yeah.
You have a list at the state of who the caregivers are.
Yeah.
You know exactly how to get a hold of us because when you want money, you get a hold of us.
Oh, yeah.
Or if something's wrong, you get a hold of us.
Oh, motherfucker. Yeah.
So when you change a law, I think we deserve to be informed, not have to watch the 6 o'clock news or whatever the
easily through a text message.
Yeah.
At the very worst. And they are good about sending emails out for the most part, but this is the thing that sucks is they send you, a bill's been amended, and they send you the 43-page fucking bill. You know what I mean? It's like, let's just have a conversation.
Yeah.
Like there needs to be a guy that knows a lot about weed, almost like a cattle commissioner out west, that sits up there and they say, hey, Johnny, what do you think about this? No. You have no fucking idea what you're talking about. Go back in there and do something else because this is just crazy.
Yeah.
But
even their inspectors aren't on the same page. I'm sure you guys have heard.
Yeah.
People getting in trouble for things that another grower won't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I will say the inspectors have been phenomenal.
I've heard great things about some.
They're great, but the thing is like they're lacking the knowledge. Right. So they need somebody like to sit here for a day and let's talk about grows, what they're supposed to look like. These are what people are, this really sucks. But if you want quality weed going on the market and no fucking bullshit, you're going to have to tell the inspectors about all the little tricks, all the little bottles, all the little things that people do that are sneaky as fuck. And we have to have the conversation that, do we want those people doing this anymore? And do we care who they actually are? Because some big motherfuckers are going to go down. And I think the answer is yes. You just have to teach these guys, like, look for this. When you and there should be like a well plant check. Don't you think? Like a well plant check. Just sitting there and they're like, these plants look fucked up. What's going on? Because most likely sometimes that could be something that could hurt somebody.
Mm-hmm. And it's getting sold. Probably 90% of the time, even if it's fucked, it's getting sold.
Well, on a lot of it, the science hasn't even been done to say that this is in fact dangerous for you.
I'm going to say it, all right? I'm going to say it. I personally do not think that chemical extracts should be legal. I just don't like it.
Here, Cory.
I just don't think. I don't like it.
I notice a difference.
It's just shady to me.
There's a difference.
It's just like, dude, now we're doing drugs.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. It's like,
that's how your head feels about it.
Dude, if you take that, and this is going to open the floodgates, but if you take that shit out completely, we could seriously fight for some traction on legitimacy.
Yeah.
That's where the train always goes off the fucking tracks. And you can say it's because of edibles. It's not. We can control edibles.
Mm-hmm.
That's easy. Make it into something like that's decently healthy for you, like a pill. You know what I mean? Just like that's just your THC edible.
Yep.
And it looks like that's what it looks like to your kids, the same thing as you take for your blood pressure or whatever the fuck.
Well, you can't even do that because by the state it has to have contains THC stamped on every single serving.
Yeah, see, that's some foolishness because like, oh, okay, let's have a pill or a brownie. It's like, give it to a kid. What do you want? Some pills or some brownies? Hopefully it chooses the brownies. If it doesn't, you need to go to counseling if it wants pills. But it's like somebody, it's because their lack of knowledge. There are a bunch of people that don't know what they're talking about. And I'm not saying that out of ignorance. I'm just saying they're not educated and they're like, that's how you have edibles is brownies and fucking candy and shit. And it's like, it doesn't need to be. Like some people should just start making some healthy ass edibles. Like, people that I know do for themselves. It's like, dude, that thing's actually good for you.
Yeah. Well, that's the same as the food industry. I mean,
and it's like this,
they push sugar like no other.
Like I use it to have to function because of the side effects of Lyme disease and just being an asshole and ruining myself. Yeah. So I don't want to be fucked, but I don't want to eat candy all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like the idea that your kids, they see you, they don't need to know you're eating weed, but they're like, Dad, you're fucking eating candy all day. That's cool. Why can't I have some Skittles?
That dives back into
bad for you.
Yeah.
Oh. But when I'm old, I can. That's kind of what we're trying to avoid.
Let's say that
you've got weed that's supposed to fight inflammation being made with sugar that makes inflammation.
Exactly,
dude.
You're calling it medical.
See, the thing is we're making,
and yet we're ignoring all of the things that
we're
actually
making too
does
much
medically.
Sense.
Yeah,
people are gonna be so pissed. You're gonna so you guys steered me off the concentration path. So the concentrate guys are gonna be fucking furious, and then the edible people are just gonna be like, these fucking idiots.
Well, edibles don't work for me. So,
but you think about it,
fuck them.
You take that out of it, and it's just weed and edibles, and hash, like ice water hash.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the thing. You can do extracts without chemicals,
dude. It's fuck me. Okay. The laboratory is weird. Well, it's a weird fucking thing.
Yeah.
Where do you draw the line, though?
What?
Is an ethanol extraction a chemical extraction?
Dude, if it was me, my store would never have it in it. It would just be ice water hash. That's it. No fucking chemicals at all. And that's just me.
Yeah.
You can tell me whatever you want. That's fine. But I don't think it should be. It's not the same thing. It's more, call it more of a medicinal use. But the people that are using it like a drug addict. And the people that do need it, I think you could just get just as if not better effects from edibles almost always. And if that doesn't work, why can't you just use hash?
Yeah.
Why do you?
Financial barrier,
But we could. I mean, that could be something that could always be offset, depending on what you're doing. Because, like, I can get as blasted out of smoking hash out of a bowl, okay, old school hash, as I can from taking a dab. I mean, yeah, it feels like I'm getting black lung. I don't know what that is. I'm not a scientist.
CBNs.
Right. But there has to be a way to make it affordable if needed. But I just think from what I've seen from doing this for a while, it's like, dude, you can tell me anything you want. Like nutrition facts on a can, dude. I don't believe it. You know what I mean? You can tell me that beef jerky is real fucking elk meat. I don't believe it. You know what I mean? And you just give me a printout on how safe this is. The testing hasn't got there yet. And honestly, and if you're going to compare it to pharmaceuticals, it's a joke.
Well, especially if we're not going to test for pesticides and stuff, because you're just compounding those when you're doing it with hydrocarbon.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just be honest, the people that are vouching for it definitely seem like they could be kind of brain damaged. Dude, the guys I know that run the cleanest laboratories don't use it. What the fuck is that? Okay. I use, even though this guy, he convinced me of not in taking any no marijuana products at all. That's what he told me. You don't even ingest marijuana. Fuck you. I was like, dude, you have no idea. You have no idea. You know what I mean? Why would you say that? And that's what people.
Yeah, it's a wild.
That's what people. So this is what the guys say that get mad when I say I don't smoke during work. This is what the hate that comes with it. You know what I mean?
Weird thing to get mad about.
Oh, fucking.
You're not a real.
Oh,
grower.
he doesn't even smoke weed.
You're not
you know
a real grower. You're not
it's
high all day.
I will say I do judge the guys that grow weed and don't smoke. I think it's fucking weird.
Don't smoke their own weed.
They don't smoke at all.
Well, I don't think I've met any of them. But
they're out there. Trust me, they're out there. And I just think it's like, if you don't like smoking weed, if you don't like getting high, you don't like smoking, what gives you the push to grow?
Exactly.
Because for me, it's finding the different like expressions of the plant, tweaking things to see how they react, and like the different profiles of plant and how they grow and how to maximize.
Yeah, there's an art to it.
Yeah, so it's like a part of that is like at the end when you roll it up, did I fuck it up or not? That's the last test.
Yeah.
If you don't care about the final test, then
yeah, if you just skip it,
you're an asshole.
Yeah, how can I even? I don't know. I can't take your word for anything,
dude.
You're not even trying it.
Amen. That's what I'm saying. That's what we're dealing with. This is what we're dealing with in this world. And I just wish people would start being honest. Because I don't think we could have another caregiver in here and have this conversation. Because I think it would turn into a fucking shit show. You know what I mean? Because everyone's butthurt about something.
Yeah.
Like, I really like, okay, new rule, whatever. Fuck
well,
it.
Like we said the other day with figuring out these new rooms, like, don't try to tell me you know what the fuck's going on.
Oh, yeah. We talked about that the other day. We got rooms. We got things in rooms that shouldn't be happening, and so we basically we had an AC fry, plants in it. Room is very, very, very warm, but it's beautiful. It is probably growing the best room in the so warehouse. Fast, and if you take fucking Dickhead's VPD chart, this room is not even on it.
Yeah, fucked.
And dude, I'm telling you, it is growing inches per day and just beautiful forest. It's in flower. It's flowering, and I mean, probably not that hot, probably 84. It's pretty warm for us. 4.
Well, see, and that's the thing. It's probably skipped ahead of a room that it's a week behind.
Listen to this. Those plants, oh my God.
Yeah,
those plants, okay, we're week 8 of flower outside. We brought them in.
And they were in probably, what, those
1 gallon pots all summer. Okay,
just torched
brought them
outside.
in, re-vegged them because I'm like, I'm just gonna get the cuts. It's all of our good shit.
We're just gonna save.
I'm just gonna get the cuts off from them, and we're fucking tossing them. So we had a gap, and they were sitting in there, and they've been in there. I mean, they've been in there ever since we started. Ever since we got our license, those plants have been in there. So they've been in there for a long fucking time vegging, and it took us probably 4 months to even get a cut off from them. So they're probably like they're old. Anyways, really old, probably like a year and a half old, no joke.
Yeah.
So we re-vegged them, and they started looking okay. Not really, like definitely want to throw them out. And then we had a room where a gap opened up where I was like, dude, let's just throw them in and see what the fuck happens. I mean, it's its own room, like. So we threw them in there, and then, dude, as soon as I turned on the disconnect for the AC, the computer board blew right out of the fucking thing, and I'm like, oh shit. We flowered these.
Yeah, we just started a room and
we just flowered them.
Melt.
And so I was like, okay. And all the rooms are on, so all the heat's in the building. And so I'm like, okay, and these things are getting, like, for one, they're mutants, right? That's what I would call them. Week 8, re-veg. These things are like...
Yeah, they had buds on them. You could have fucking clipped off and smoked.
Yes. Mutants.
You didn't harvest anything?
No, not off those ones. I didn't want to smoke any of it. They got rained on, frozen...
Yeah.
Dude,
so
they shouldn't have survived.
Mutants. And then so this AC's fucked up, and like every day he's telling me, dude, they're looking pretty good. And I'm like, shut up. Like, fuck you. These things are going to spray seed everywhere.
Yeah.
And he's like, nope, nope. And so I went in there today, and I'm like, holy shit, dude. The room, the temp is all over like extremely high. In the nighttime, it's probably extremely cold.
Yeah, it's dropping pretty cold.
And then these things are just like growing out of control. But the only thing that isn't the same is we've run the strain in the soil before, and everything else we haven't.
Yeah, all other
it's insane.
3 rooms.
It's like the temperature
strains.
doesn't even matter. And so, but we'll see what these mutants are like.
Well, in your LED too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the heat doesn't get crazy bad, but
Imagine
Let
if,
it be in the pocket, dude.
right.
it's looking good.
Dude, it's insane.
It's
I
scary.
can't believe it. The AC is going to be changed.
Throwbacks with Reaper.
But that's why I was saying is nobody can tell me anything. You know what I mean? Nothing has to be a certain way for it to work. You can't put things in a box. Like
There's so much unknown.
if people want to grow a new way, try it, dude. Freaking but be honest about the process.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
Or
It's
just
like,
say, tried this, fucking 4 pounds of light.
not
Come
even
on, talk to me about like what happened with the plant.
or not even that. Just like
The end goal, though, the total
plants-
yield is not always a judge on how the room went.
No.
I mean, we've had big rooms where the quality just, to me, wasn't there.
I have 4 pounds.
Well, I was just throwing it
No,
out
but
there,
when you get up into those, I doubt you're getting the best out of the strain.
Yeah. It reminds me of like growing vegetables, like the GMO kind of crops, where it's, you're yielding more, but it tastes like water.
It's more vegetation.
Yeah.
It's really what it boils down to. Are you
But
growing
is it more
resin?
nutrients? Yeah. Is it? Which, yeah. No, I don't think so.
That's the goal with growing weed, right? Just grow resin. Fuck the plant matter.
Well, and from all the things we've experimented with and different ways of growing, whatever's going on in the soil, the plant likes that the most.
Yeah. And
By far.
I've
So
watched.
obvious.
I've done it a lot of different ways, and the way I started is definitely way different than the way we're doing it now. But I believe, and I have no scientific reason to believe this, but what I believe is a certain plant at a certain size has a certain amount that it can output, no matter what. It's a mathematical. I think there's some sort of something there. And that's why I like growing a small plant.
I think it's a hormone balance, just like people.
And I think it has a certain amount that it can give, no matter how big it is.
Yeah.
So I just think some of those bigger yielding strains are just diluted, is what it seems like to me, because all of our small yielding plants are the best weed in my mind, which is really fucking strong.
Yeah. Which is why I like that we've gone the quality route, because everyone's saying yield is money, which, yeah, it sort of is, but you just haven't put yourself in the stratosphere of great quality yet.
Right.
You can get that price, or at least make up for your loss in yield by having the best shit.
Yeah,
And it separates itself quickly. You see it at the stores.
Yeah, but that's the thing that people don't like to accept right now is essentially your local stores are the market. So you bring your product to the market and what can we get?
Yeah.
And when you don't like what we can get, well, they're seeing the customer. They're telling you what people want and what they want it at.
Yeah.
So either you need to step it up, and there's guys on both sides of it. Both any which way of growing that are up there on the top, and it doesn't matter. Like some people like just don't fucking care, and that's cool. Like the way it's grown, and it checks all the boxes, and I know it's great, and it is what it is. But you got to get like, what is that guy doing, so I can get mine like that. You can't have the mindset of like, oh, they're wrong.
Yeah, they're wrong. I'm the best.
Right, and then you go to, if. Why would I grow 100 pounds at $1,400 a pound when I can get 25 for a quarter of the work and feel better about yourself? I mean, it is impressive being able to just blast out a massive yield, but it's a lot of rounding when I would rather have like a sharp, like this is.
It's kind of like a pick your lane type thing. Do you want to be Hannaford or do you want to be the corner store?
But the thing is Hannaford in Maine, if they allow this to roll, is not going to survive. It's going to be like Maine has lived for years and years and years on local like Fuller's Market. There's Fuller's Market,
they want to shake the hand of the guy who made the shit.
But they don't need Fuller's Market too. That's what Maine is built on. One store, and we don't need more than one store because we're just going to work this much and be happy and live and have enough to live.
Yeah.
And that's where I think, these small growers will thrive. You're like, dude, like honestly, right here, this grow right here, you say you can have this for the rest of your life, run this shit. If you agree not to do any more than this, you'll be good. I'll be like, yeah, dude, I'm good. Like we can make it.
It's great for us, and it's ultimately it's the best for the market
and everybody. And it's like I don't want to produce more to dilute the market more, so more people don't get a chance. I want I love like talking to guys like Matt from Halcyon Farm. He's just like us.
Yeah.
You don't need to be crazy. You don't need to be a billionaire, but want to be comfortable. Want to be comfortable.
Yeah.
That's it.
I want enough money so I don't have to worry about money. That's pretty much it.
And most of us just want enough money to get the fuck away from people and be left alone.
Yeah.
As bad as that says, I mean, coming from, someone who has a podcast, left alone. But no, it's just, I just think that a lot of people aren't being honest. And a lot of people are acting like spoiled kids. And I know we live in an age where everybody's spoiled. And people need to accept that things are about to get hard. And no matter what you want to accept, everybody in this country knows things are going to get, you're going to have to be a little more self-sustainable because you already feel the things going. You feel inflation. We've felt it for years. Like, people are fucking us out of our money. And we need to start fighting back with doing shit on our own again. Yeah, maybe we don't go to Lowe's. Maybe we go to the local sawmill. Yeah, it sucks. It's a full day. But guess what? When this country was great, that's what we did. Mm-hmm. We're going to the fucking sawmill today. It's going to take all day. We can't be, you can't be expecting like the DoorDash shit.
Well, no shit. And then, so to me, that compares to like the people complaining that like those cash out machines at Hannaford are taking people's jobs.
Yeah.
Yet no one is applying for those jobs.
Yeah.
No one wants to do them.
You know what that comes from? I hate to get political. Minimum wage.
Yeah. I mean, it's a driving force, and
I'm not trying to be a dick. That's not a manager. That's not like you're running the cash register. That should be a job where you're like, I want to be that manager. Yeah. That's your mindset. You don't not like
it's a working up position.
20 years at $12.50 an hour. No, Hannaford is waiting for you to take some responsibility off your manager. Yeah. That's what they're waiting for. They're gonna see 1 out of 96 do this. How many fucking machines bitch?
Yeah.
It's like, think about it. If
you just thinks the showing up is all of it. Like, showing up's important.
Yeah.
But you got to show some initiative.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same problem we've been having in the trim room.
Yeah.
Show some fucking initiative.
Right.
It's not just a hang out, get high, and trim a little bit of weed.
No. And
It's a job.
And that's another thing. Like people get they get pissed, and customers, they'll ask, hey, you want to hire? And I'm like, I'm not gonna lead you on, but you're not made for this.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? I'm like, it's different. This isn't what you're used to. Like, we ask a lot of our people, but we get a lot in return most of the time.
Yeah.
And we're small, your local store, your local convenience store usually is a family, and they work 80 hours a week. That's usually the way it goes. Nobody gets hired unless they're family, and they get all taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
But like,
you keep it all in house, and you all bust your ass, and
you're right.
It works out.
Yeah, everyone works more hours, but has more invested.
Well, and I was going to connect that to one of the reasons why I left doing what I was doing before.
Yeah.
I mean, run the equation in your head. Do I want to show up 5 days a week, 9 to 5, to somewhere I don't want to fucking be at all, for somebody else to make more money?
Right.
And basically, I have no opportunity to have any stake in that money that's being made.
Ever.
Or do I want to show up 7 days a week and work whatever hours doing something I fucking like to do?
Right.
It's a very simple equation.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to run around stressed out and, but I make this at the end of the week. Well, sorry, that stress isn't worth that couple extra bucks for me.
Yeah.
I'd rather wake up every day and be like, fuck yeah, let's go see what happened last night.
Yeah.
See how they did.
Right.
Here we go.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know, it's a different thing. It's not just about dollars at the end of the week.
No, and it's like, I feel like I know contractors that live this way. They do huge construction projects, but every day they wake up loving their job, and it's just because they do it right. In their mind, they do it right. And it's different than the other contractors.
They take pride in their fucking work a little bit.
But at the end of the day, the guys that are doing that shouldn't be shitting on each other for stupid shit. I like to bust balls.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do it for the rest of my life. And, like, if a grower comes in that I know, like, someday Chris will come in here and we'll have a podcast together, and it will be shit talking the whole time.
Yeah.
But I love him, and I don't give a fuck. He's great. He's a great grower.
Yeah.
It's just
Who is this?
Cupcake.
Oh, I was thinking the other Chris.
No, Cupcake. He's like, at the end of the day, we don't talk a lot anymore, but he's a great guy to talk to.
Yeah.
He's fucking hilarious.
Yep.
Yeah, and he's good shit. He's just a good dude, and he's just living.
Yep.
But we grow different ways, and we're always gonna trash each other on that shit.
And for the longest time, like growing up as kids, that's kind of the only way you figure out what each other's made of.
Oh yeah. If you can't take it.
What buttons can I push, and how long can I push them until you freak the fuck out?
Right, exactly. And then it's just, but you can't get it. You can't get to the point where you can't get to the point where it's like really fucking ignorant.
Yeah, it doesn't have to get personal.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to get like insulting.
Yeah, I'd be like,
just have a conversation.
Eat more pizza, fat ass, or something like that. Whatever, That's just fun.
But I like shooting the bow.
Yeah,
you can't do that without a little shit talk.
Snowboarding.
Oh, I can't talk shit about that. I suck.
Dude.
You want to go?
Dude,
see how bad I suck?
Dude, no.
I tore it.
Very misleading. He went his first day, and he basically didn't even fall. I mean, and I took him
last
up.
Year, yeah.
I took him up.
I fell.
Real trails. He didn't go any black diamonds or anything, but I mean, Timberline. I mean, that's a...
Yeah.
First day?
One of my favorites.
First day?
Yep.
No one else is doing that. I wasn't doing that first day.
No?
And I had been skiing for a while.
He's stupid, though.
Yeah.
No, he's weirdly ambidextrous, so it's like...
Yeah, I am pretty good at that.
Balance.
Dude, second day, I made it count.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he started taking jumps on the second day, so...
Dude, I took jumps the first day. We went through that little terrain
I wouldn't
part,
call it, yeah.
and there was that like one like soft
more like
one,
a
and then
lip.
there was like an aggressive one. But I hit it, and I tried to jump it.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, give a little credit.
Wait, was that the day?
And then I tried a rail.
Was that? Yeah, that was the rail that. See, I don't even really fuck with rails. Not ready for
So
that.
this is what I expected, okay? Because like skateboarding, right?
Yep.
You hit the rail, and it's like fucking.
You speed up
too.
almost. Yeah.
But that was like grip tape,
Yeah.
and I was like,
Well, plus you had a
Hate shit.
rental board.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure he dug his fucking head right into the rail. So.
Yeah, I definitely did something like that. But dude, second time I bought a brand new board, and I went, but it was misting, and it was like kind of hard packed.
It was fast that day.
And I fucking hit this.
He had a brand new Burton.
Yeah, I hit this jump connected to this rail, like, and it was fast, and
icy landing.
And like, so it was like this, right? So I went over it. No, it was like this, and I went over it, and like my board immediately kicks out, and it's like over my head. And I'm like,
all I saw was his board.
Fuck,
his head
dude.
was
so I
covered by
landed
the
right next to the rail where it's extremely icy and hard. Boom! And I just started dry heaving. I was like, yeah, I broke something.
Yeah.
I was like, get the fuck away from me.
Yeah,
and I was like snowboarding down, dude, and I'm like in so much pain. And I'm waddling all the way back to the car, and I sit in his car, and I'm like, this fucking sucks. And he lost his wallet or some shit, so we had to drive around for an hour, and my ass is blown, dude. Completely blown. My mother's like, she's a nurse. She's like, I think you broke your tailbone because the dry heaving thing.
Yep.
And I was just like, yeah. I'm like, I'm only going on snow days now.
Yeah, power days only.
It's too enticing. The first thing I see is like, yeah, I want to hit a jump.
Right.
Who doesn't?
Yep.
Like, fuck. Like,
Normally you start with like the little side cuts. You don't fucking hit the big.
But you got to think like a dude. You know, like I'm like, jumps are cool.
I like that all these jumps are like this.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's not a single straight.
Okay, so this is how it is. You like come down. So it's like you have to come down, and then you should square up. You know what I'm saying? And then hit it straight.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was just a little bit
like
like turn.
But you have to turn, and it's like it goes like, and that's what I did. I went that way, and I was gonzo.
Yeah, so he's still trying to correct as he's getting air.
Oh,
She
dude.
got-
Oh,
Should have
dude.
just rotated through it. Did a
Right, dude.
I don't know
If you
the
finish
basics.
the flip,
I don't know the basics.
I would have sold my fucking board right then. I'm done.
My teacher sucked.
Dude, you didn't let. My teaching was don't take a fucking jump.
He's like, let's get on the fucking lift. I'm like, okay, I've never done this before. Let's go. And I don't think
the
I
lift is
fell.
probably the hardest part.
I don't think I fell on it.
No.
He's like, well, yeah, we'll just go up to here on this easy fucking.
No,
trail.
bullshit, because that day I forgot my wallet before we went up.
That was day 2.
Yeah, and
Day two when I broke my ass.
You took super quad by yourself
Yes.
and rode it down.
I don't know what I was doing. I just got on the lift.
Yeah, the biggest lift.
Dude, I just got on the lift, and they had all this nonsense going on with this fundraiser, and I was all stressed out.
Oh,
because
that's
I was
right.
like,
It was yeah.
These guys are racing. Can I go over here? Am I in the race? I think I'm in the race.
No, it was that 24-hour thing they do up the Sugarloaf.
Yeah, and that's what I asked the dude on the lift. I was a little high, and I was like, am I in the race? And he's like, race. I was like, what the fuck are you guys doing? He's like, oh, yeah, see how many times you can skate down the mountain? 24 hours.
No race?
I was like, fuck that.
They raised a lot of
4
money
ti-
for that fucking thing.
That company right there raised $56K.
Just those, it was
Just
4 guys.
that
right?
dude, yeah.
I thought you had a group of them.
Agron Appliance is the name of the business. Hopefully he listens.
Yeah.
And sponsors us.
Gives me a
Tag.
fucking computer desk. No, but no, snowboarding was interesting. That's for sure. I definitely want my kids to know how to do it. I feel like it's something sweet.
Get them into gymnastics, dude.
What?
Getting kids into gymnastics, they'll be good at anything you put them on.
It's true.
Dude, you're
Because
right.
like aerial awareness, if you had done gymnastics, you would have went
controlling.
up, down, upside down. You'd been like, oh,
Controlling your body in space.
yeah.
It is.
I promise you, every good skier I knew as a kid went through gymnastics.
Yeah.
Or your
And
son
skied a
will
fucking
become a
wall.
dancer. It's
Something
kind
to
of
Something to think about. Or what?
start dancing.
Oh.
Dancing or skiing?
I thought you said something. I thought you said something. I'll tell you what I thought you said after we shut this off. That's how fucked it is. But yeah,
What else you
a
got?
couple more. Like I feel like we've been going a while. Prospective storefronts, Hive. If they'll take us back, please take us back.
Please, we put your name on the wall.
Please, yeah, please. Hopefully Rocksteady again, and then Rugged Roots. Hopefully we'll get back in there. It's just been so long since we've had shit. So
Yeah.
and then
The
our
wait is
buddy
almost over.
Sam from the Seeds. I can't even
Woodstock?
remember. Yes, he's building a store. I don't know if I'm supposed to say it or not, but he wants us in there. But I said it. Yeah. And then future plans for the grow. I mean, build it out, run it, keep doing this.
Hopefully, do what we did with Manchester.
Right. Right. I mean, build another one. I'd like to build another one.
Yeah, like you said earlier, this we weren't going to tear down the standing structure, so we didn't get to do everything we wanted to do.
Yeah.
But this will give us.
Yeah, we'll build one from the ground up someday.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Be perfect.
I think we went over pretty well the stance of med rec programs.
Rated on that for
I could touch on that again, I guess. Oh, this is a good one. I'll let you answer this. Will you guys partner for recreational sales? I don't know what that means, but it's a good one for you to answer, I guess.
Oh, is it? Partner for rec sales?
Like, I think they're probably asking is, would you guys partner with somebody to get a rec license? I'll just say, I was going to let you answer it, but I'll just say, we tried that.
Yeah. I was going to say, you know my answer. The partnerships are not for us.
Yeah.
I don't think. Unless something else pops up that makes sense, but I don't know. We're too independent. We're too stuck in our own ways, I think.
Well, like we talked about with the state, and I'll be quick. It's like you get people barking orders of things that make no fucking sense. I'm going to say, that makes no sense. You're an idiot. And then it's like,
what's the thing? We've done the hard part now.
Yeah.
So I think we know what needs to be worked on and where and when.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
To have either an investor or partner.
I just lose too much steam not doing it our way.
Yeah.
It's a certain kind of way, and it takes a special breed to get to there, and it doesn't come like you don't just like say like, yeah, dude, I'm fucking. We've seen it. Yeah, I'm down. Let's do what you guys want to do. And it's like you don't want to do what I want to do because I don't give a fuck about the bullshit. Like having my face on a billboard. No, never.
It's never been about that.
No, it's just about the product on the shelf. Yeah. I hope you don't know who grows it, but this is fucking it up. Cabin Masters, they're fucking it up.
I was gonna say, I want you to know the name, but I don't care if you know me.
Yeah, so many times in town they've been like, hey man, you want Cabin Masters? I'm like,
what?
No, I'm just fucking around. Just because of the podcast, imagine.
Yeah. Yeah, co-owners, man.
So that's it for questions.
Now.
There is more, but I'm not getting into them. It's too deep. Maybe next time.
I got a question for you guys.
Jake has a question.
What do you think about the people moving here because of COVID and how it'll change Maine? Because from what I've noticed down south, it's a lot of money. It's not normal people.
Right.
The amount of bass boats I've seen coming up 95.
Well, they're the only people who can afford the houses.
But it's
the housing market's insane.
Money. It's not $200,000 house money.
Right.
It's $500,000 cabin money.
Yeah. No, I do have an outlook on it because I have thought a lot about it, and one of the things I think is, if I were to ever move somewhere, like I've thought, like it'd be cool to live maybe in Wyoming or Montana sometime. Like I would move there and I would just adapt. I wouldn't never try to change what they got.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing that would be nice is.
What I'm hopeful for is they moved here for Maine.
But
not to run away and then make it a second home like their last place was.
But the problem is the people in southern Maine, even Maine people, have forgotten what Maine is about and why Maine's even on the map. And it was basically because of Moosehead Lake and outdoor recreation. Like people came from all over the world up the railroad through Maine for that, and then we had obviously a lot of mills and stuff. But like being sustainable, that is Maine as fuck.
Yeah.
And people are forgetting that. Like they don't even want us hunting anymore. Like, what are you guys doing? This isn't California. This isn't LA.
Yeah.
Stop moving here and bringing that shit with you. Like, we've had friends that move out west and they come home and they're just like trying to bring that shit back here. I'm like, dude, you can try this fucking bullshit, but in Maine, you're going to be miserable.
Yeah.
Like, being cold kind of beats the pussy right out of you for the most part.
Yeah.
And then it's just a lot of people in Maine, they were kids. They had wood stove in the house. They had all this shit that just builds this. it builds a breed of human beings that's just used to dealing with bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's relaxing because you can go to the store and just bitch and it's not a big deal.
Well, yeah, and it builds small communities that rely on each other.
Yeah, we like
instead of like hoping the state government does something for you, like I'm gonna call Johnny.
Yeah.
It's not, I don't know, it's a different thing than those big states where, oh, I can just call I don't know, just get anything delivered that I want.
Yeah, and I
don't ever have to worry about anything.
I saw that when I lived up in Greenville. It was just like people gave a fuck about you because they might need you.
Yeah.
You know, and it was awesome. It was just like, hey, you know, we're driving to Bangor. It's a couple hours away. Your family need anything? Because we might not have it here. Like that kind of shit brings communities together like people don't believe. It's like, you know, some people up there might not be able to afford to drive to Bangor. You know, it's like, it's just shit like that. And everyone's looking out for each other and everyone just stops in. Like, how are you doing? And that's so important because if you're having a bad day, you know, you like people just don't get that interaction anymore. Like your neighbor fucking cares to come say hi. That's pretty cool. Especially
during this last year with all this lockdown shit.
Yeah. And now people are like, I don't want to inconvenience him. Yeah. And most people are like, stop in. I don't give a fuck. If I'm busy, leave me alone.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm busy. But
yeah, sorry. And then some people, that doesn't even matter. We all know them.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to, you know, dude, I'm taking a shower. 1 second. Put a towel on.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's a good question. And I don't know. I hope for the best.
It's one of those things only time will tell.
Obviously. I mean, if.
I didn't when I was living up north, I didn't know it was as bad as it was until I moved back down south.
Well, you could see it in the voting. The state is split in half.
Yeah. Right.
Right down the middle. Yeah, but mentally, I mean, for a long time it's been red-blue split, but I think the state has never felt so divided as it feels right now. Well, that's what I mean. It's so many, kind of like what he's talking about, relying on your neighbors. So many people have forgotten that Big Brother, the government, just doesn't give a fuck about you. And when it comes to a real, I mean, I don't want to say disaster or just any real problem, the local people around you are the ones you have to lean on.
I get that's kind of what
that dynamic is just lost.
So are those people that are coming in going to subscribe to that?
Some will, some won't. We'll see.
They're gonna subscribe to whatever the people that they fall into around Maine do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so many people down there have forgotten that, even though they're from Maine. But like I look back when I was a kid and we had communities, and remembering people being really happy, even if they were fucked up, because they all were.
Yeah.
But now it's just unhappiness.
Yeah.
Even, you know, so and I remember as a kid, it didn't matter what weekend it was, there was a get together somewhere. We had to be, and it was great, and everyone was happy, and everyone cared for each other. Yeah, everyone was way into each other's business, but you know,
it's almost impossible not to be.
It's better than being in your family's business than being Naomi in California's business on Facebook.
Yeah, distracted.
You know what I mean? Like,
that doesn't
fuck.
matter. People that don't care about you.
Yeah, there's just so much shit on there that doesn't matter here, and people get wrapped up in that.
Yeah.
But I just hope like people can respect the way we've done things in this state for a long time, because that's why I like to stay here, and that's why I think a lot of people like to stay here, is like we don't have to really deal with the bullshit of like people being unrealistic, because it's like, dude, you run out of heat in Maine, you die.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, how much bullshit can we deal with when we're all trying to just get through the fucking winter?
There's no time for the beating around the bush or playing the games or lying. Got to work together.
I think everything will get fixed when people just start being honest. Like everyone just like, dude, yeah, this is like gotten out of control.
Yeah.
And let's do some shit. And, you know, instead of fighting on Facebook, like let's meet up, because then we can have a real conversation.
No, we'll fight then.
Yeah, fight then. Fight then. Shake hands and say we're fighting, and fight.
Yeah. And then it's over.
And then it's over, and it has to be over. And then if you get another Facebook fight, you just keep doing it until it's done. No weapons, you know.
No.
You have to go live.
Yeah.
Tell us what the dispute's about, both sides.
Yeah.
So it's like a drama show, and then just both set your phones up and just go to town.
Hey, it's why they let them fight in hockey.
I don't think you should do that.
The boys figure it out.
Don't say you heard it from us.
No, we don't condone that, but if you do it, tag us.
Yeah.
Film it, tag us.
So yeah, I think we're good for today.
Yeah. Getting ready for the fights tonight.
Getting ready for the fights tonight, and packing some more rooms with plants next week.
Yep. Keep the train rolling.
Yep. For now, we're out.
No more